Thanks ever so much. I think we have a statement here from the Department for Education. Yeah. As part of our plan for education, we want children from all backgrounds to have the chance to succeed. We've made clear to schools no child should be excluded from any activity during school hours or within the curriculum simply because their parents are unwilling or indeed unable to pay. Laura's going to be here with today's weather forecast in 10 minutes.
Yes. But first of all, how do you feel about being taken for a ride in a driverless car? I think anybody that drives with me would quite like that, actually, because it's better than me at the wheel. But the UK's first is about to be put to the test in public.
Well, Helen Pearson is live in Greenwich with the prototype. So, Helen, have you been out and about in it?
Well, kind of, Suzanne. I've had a little taste of what it's like. I mean, take a good look at this dinky little thing because we're going to see an awful lot more of them over the next few months as tests on them begin. Believe it or not, inside this tiny car is some very intricate computers which are basically the key to this driverless future, which scientists say is a much safer future because around 90% of car crashes are caused by human error. Now, they do look a little bit like the electric cars, some of the smart cars that we've already seen on our roads, but there's some very distinctive differences. Particularly these sensors at the front, very clever sensors they are, more on that on the moment. Inside you'll see there's actually no real dashboard to speak of, and eventually there'll be no steering wheel, no brakes, no accelerator. It'll rely purely on software to navigate an urban environment, and for the time being that's going to be things like public footpaths and pavements. But it won't be long, scientists say, before we could see cars like these out on our roads.
This could be the future on four wheels, hands and feet free driving, thanks to complex computers and cameras contained in this compact car.
These are laser-based sensors for looking for finding objects that might be in the way. You've got ultrasonic sensors like your car parking sensors. These lights are used as the indicators. There's more cameras and more lasers on the back. And the nice thing about this car is it will see in 360 degrees all around while it's driving along.
And this is how, using digital maps to navigate set routes and software to dodge any obstacles.
So you'll be able to summon the pod from your smartphone, key in where you want to go, the pod will arrive, in you'll get, pop the shopping in the front, sit back and relax, maybe make a couple of calls and do some emails and let the pod do the hard work for you.
That's a few years off yet, but with most car crashes caused by human error, could this technology lead to safer roads?
So there you are. It's a little taster of what's to come, but probably quite a few years away before we have a completely driverless future.
Wow. Now, thanks so much. Let us know what you think about that. We're going to be talking to a driving instructor.
Yes, of course, who could we out of work if that catches on?
Because if nobody needs to learn to drive anymore, what are they going to do? So, yes, let us know how safe you'd feel with a whole load of driverless cars.
I don't know. See, I do sort of nodding and being on your own in a car, nodding off or reading a book. Psychological. Anyway, look, celebrations down under this morning.
Indeed, because Australia is allowed to compete at this year's Eurovision Song Contest. I thought the clue was in the title. Eurovision Song Contest, Aussie Vision Song Contest this year's 60th anniversary celebration, so they're allowed in, just for 1 year only.
Well, there you go. Look, Vanessa Francis is in Sydney for us this morning. Are they celebrating?
They are celebrating. There's a lot of us down here who are very excited. There is a slight amount of confusion, as you've already said, as to how Australia has suddenly become part of Europe. But come the 23rd of May, I don't think that's going to matter at all. There's a lot of excitement here behind it. Millions of people watch the Eurovision Song Contest on TV every year. It's 30 years it's been broadcast on SBS over here, and it's a really nice little treat for the 60th anniversary, a little one-off. They're sticking us in there for the grand final. It might be a bit cheeky, but, you know, we're there, we'll take part, and this year, fortunately, our votes are going to count towards something as well.
Well, yes, and who you'll be voting for, you see, because it's all very cliquey, that voting. As long as you give us the votes, we won't mind. Spain's not happy, though. They started a petition saying this is not fair.
That's true. Well, Spain has started a petition. In fact, they're putting an idea forward as to who might represent Australia. They're suggesting Kylie might be the way forward for us, and if we are going to do it, we are going to put our best foot forward. So she might be a goer, although there's been no word on that yet. What has been said, though, is that they're not going to have any fun with this. They're going to make a serious effort, and so we'll see who's going to be put forward. Some other names that have been bandied around include Gina G, who performed for us, or for the UK actually, an Australian who performed for the UK in 1996 with Ooh Ah Just a Little Bit. She was very successful then, and Olivia Newton-John also performed for the UK.
Yes,
so we'll see who gets to do it this year. Will be an Australian, and it will be for the Australians.
Oh, Vanessa,
Brilliant.
thanks
Well,
so
look,
much.
I'd love it to be Kylie, because she's basically British now, isn't she?
She's
We've
just basically
adopted her.
walk away with it. I have Vanessa, thank you. I have a feeling that Peter Andre also got suggested, but surely the Wiggles.
The Wiggles!
Wouldn't they be brilliant? They'd be
If under
perfect.
2-year-olds could vote, they would be the perfect choice.
Let's have a look at the weather. Here's Laura.
Good morning. Well, you can't choose.